Hi, everybody, and welcome back to 6 Minutes of Meaning. This is our new project that we are um, trying to get off the ground, and this is our second week of bringing it to you. What I'd like to jump into is the exact same theme that we left off with last time, which spoke about those moments of negativity, hearing that difficult voice where we feel like we don't have the energy. We don't really want to be doing what we should be doing. Perhaps we are being pulled in a different direction to do some of the things that we should not be doing. How are we to live our best lives when so much is clamoring for our attention, both in positive and negative ways? I'd like to share with you a beautiful statement that is made by our sages, and it is speaking about that inner negative voice that we sometimes hear and that power of lethargy, that power of negativity that can sometimes come up against us. The statement is found in the Talmud in Kiddushin, Daf Lamed Amud Bet, and it says as follows: if you happen to find this inner negativity, drag them to the house of study. If he is a stone, grind him down. If he is iron, blow him up. What a fascinating statement that is. If you happen to find this terrible, negative inner voice, drag him to the house of study. That's part one. If he is stone, grind him down. If he is iron, blow him up. What might that mean? And the Maharal of Prague, the individual that we have been using as our guide, this was a famous rabbi of the 1600s, who was able to give a beautiful interpretation to this passage, says as follows: there are times where we don't have a sense of positive enthusiasm. When things are not going well, when we hear an inner voice that's saying, you can't do this, or you can't be bothered to do this, or in the opposite direction, we hear the inner voice saying, just go ahead. No one's looking. No one's going to find out. Just do it. You know you want to. There are times when that is a sense of void, that we have a void inside of us. Something is not filling us. Something is not fulfilling us. And the way in which we can combat that void is actually by filling ourselves up with something wholesome, something spiritual, something meaningful. Drag that moment into the house of study. Now, you don't have to necessarily come into the synagogue. Right now, many synagogues are closed, but we can open up a book. We can open up something inspirational to us, something which is a guide that can fill us spiritually. That is what it means when it says, drag yourself to the house of study. And not only yourself, drag that feeling to the house of study as well. That void needs to be filled somehow. And that's exactly what these 6 minutes of meaning are trying to achieve as well. But look at the second half of that statement. If he is a stone, grind him down. You know, when we feel lethargic, when we feel spiritually spent, when we feel that we have nothing more to give, then we become extremely heavy. We can become just paralyzed like a heavy stone. The human being is made up of two parts. We were initially made from the earth. We read about this just 2 weeks ago in synagogue, the Torah reading of Bereshit. A human being is made from the dust of this earth. And the second half, we are made from the spirit and the breath of God himself. When we don't feel that breath of God, when we don't feel that spirit, and there are times when we all feel down, there are times when we're all not getting it, what are we left with? We are left with this crippling sense of heaviness. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody that is feeling a little bit blue. I'm not speaking about clinical depression. That's something completely different. And for that, a person should seek out professional help. But when a person is feeling a bit down, when a person is feeling a little bit blue, it's very hard to get off the couch. They feel just so heavy. They feel so tired the whole time. And ironically, the more they sleep, the more tired they can feel. And their eating habits are negative and they just feel heavy. Smash that heaviness is what we are being taught. If he is a stone, grind him down. How? By getting up and doing something, to force ourselves to do something, an act of goodness, an act of kindness, a kind word, a telephone call, an email, the ability to send somebody a just because text. I'm thinking of you, and for no other reason, I just wanted to put a smile on your face, reach out, just because by getting up, actively doing something, we are able, in the language of the Talmud and the way the Maharal explains it, if he is a stone, grind him down. The heaviness, the lethargy, that feeling of I can't achieve, start doing something. And no matter how small it is, you will realize that the path of 1,000 miles begins with one step. This is our 6 minutes of meaning. Now go and send that text message, send that email, make that call. I promise you, it will make all the difference in the world. Have a great day.